Hey, this is Aaron and I'm going to show you how to make my 3-bean salad. Now the nice thing about this salad is that it's heart healthy, economical, delicious, and there is no cooking required. Now as I go through showing you how to make this salad, I'm going to share a tidbit with you about how most of the ingredients are heart healthy. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's get started with our 3-bean salad. So the 3 different types of beans we're going to use today is 1 can of black beans, 1 can of red kidney beans, doesn't matter if they're the dark or light variety, and 1 can of garbanzo beans. Now make sure before you start making the salad that you rinse these thoroughly. You want your water to be completely clear when you're doing the rinsing process because it rinses out all the preservatives and it takes the canned taste out of the mouth, out of the taste of it. Now the nice thing about beans is that they lower your cholesterol levels. They're full of fiber, which keeps you fuller for longer, which is good for the heart too, because you're less likely to overeat. Now next, we're going to have our can of corn, which has been rinsed thoroughly as well. So corn is full of vitamin A and vitamin C, which may ward off heart disease. Next, we're gonna go for our cherry tomatoes. You wanna do between 15 and 20, and you wanna cut them in half before you put them in the salad. While we're at it, we're also gonna put 1 orange diced bell pepper in there. You can use yellow, red, or orange. I just have orange today. So both tomatoes and colorful bell peppers have an antioxidant called lycopene. And what lycopene does is that it lowers the blood pressure and it also lowers your LDL, or what they call your bad cholesterol. Next, let's put our avocado in there. This is 2 Hass avocados diced. Now the Hass avocados are what's called a monosaturated fat, which is what you may call a healthier fat. This type of fat is way better for your heart than a saturated fat like butter or lard. Difference between unsaturated fat or monounsaturated fat and saturated fat is that monounsaturated fats tend to be liquid when you melt them down and stay liquid, as opposed to like if you melt butter, once it becomes a liquid, if you leave it alone, it will solidify back up. Next, we're gonna do a bunch of fresh parsley. This is a whole bunch that you can get from the grocery store that's been cut. Some people use a knife. I actually like to use meat shears. It just is easier for me. So we're gonna throw that in there. Now, parsley is full of 3 things that can fight off bad heart issues. It's full of vitamin C, folate, and various antioxidants. Next, we're gonna put in 2 cloves of garlic that has been cut and minced. Garlic also regulates cholesterol and lowers blood pressure. Now, we are done with all the main ingredients, so now we're getting ready to put our dressing in there. Our dressing is just simply made of lime juice and olive oil that I put together. It is 1/3 cup of lime juice and 1/4 cup of olive oil. So I'm gonna pour that right on in there. Now limes are full of magnesium and potassium, which fight heart disease. And olive oil, like the avocado, is full of that monounsaturated fat, or that healthier fat. Last but not least, we're just gonna put a little salt and pepper in for taste. You can put in as little or as much as you want. Now lastly, we're gonna mix it up. You can either use a nice spoon like this to mix it up, or you can get in there with your hands. I do it either way. I like to use a bunch of parsley. Some people like to use a little less. It is up to you. Also, if you don't care for parsley, you can use another herb. Some people use cilantro, some people use tarragon. Parsley is usually my go-to for this because most people like parsley. It's the most tame out of all the other herbs as far as taste and what people are familiar with. So we're just gonna mix that up really good there. Looking delicious, smelling good. All right, I'm gonna give you a close-up because that is looking really, really good. So that's how it looks. Looks delicious, doesn't it? So the very last thing we want to do is that we're going to cover this up, put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes to allow the flavors to marinate, And then that is it. This is my 3-bean salad with tomatoes, avocado, bell peppers, and garlic. The nice thing about this recipe is that if you don't like these 3 types of beans, you can use other types of beans. You can use cannelli beans, you can use Great Northern beans. Just about any canned bean that's out there is good in this. If you don't like tomatoes, you could replace them with anything like dried raspberries. Some people put nuts in this, like pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds. So the nice thing about this is that if you don't like any of these ingredients, or if you want to play around with it, it's a fun recipe to play around with. I hope you enjoy this and let me know what you think.